Everybody, welcome to the Smoking and Joking Show. We have our hosts, Anthony Charpentier Jr. and Demarcus Reed. I'm here as the moderator until we get a moderator who can moderate better. Today is peeling back the veil and in the spirit of what we did last Sunday, truly letting you guys see what smoke pit conversations are. I got my Tangeray gentlemen. I'll be taking shots every now and then, just so some inhibitions are released and we can talk that talk. We're gonna go over football today. Bears lost. We're gonna go over
Damn right we lost again.
Demarcus Reed. I'm not gonna use his government name. Reed is very happy. It seems that somebody has been put 6 foot under. We're also going to talk about, since we don't have a female on here, we'd love for any females watching to call and give their point of view, but we're going to talk about some of the things we've been seeing on social media, the 50-50, 100, 0, talks like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Anthony, the Bears lost today. Reed, the Bears lost today. How we feeling about that?
The crazy part is both of us are Bears fans. It's not, and this just happened to be an accident. So for us to be struggling on defense like we do right now is it's very challenging to watch. Let's just be honest. And the fact him and I were just discussing off camera that we need a linebacking core that is a solid covering core outside of that we need another Brian Urlacher. All right. So what is the Bears known for? Defense. We don't. We known for defense. Lance Briggs, Mike Singletary, Brian Urlacher. I mean, the names keep going and going and going. Right. Dick Butkus. I mean, so we're known for having these types of athletes on such a prestigious team that was once prestigious, it's 80s, 70s, 60s, but since 90s, whatever, we've had some really, really rough years, pretty much the past 30 some years. And it's been kind of tough. Now at the same time, we're missing that hardcore like linebacker core is what we're really missing. We're missing a good one. Like we got some defensive backs that are really good. We got one in particular is just absolutely amazing. But we need better safeties, and we definitely need 100% a solid linebacker. So I don't know. And the way we've been losing the part that sucks. Like the last quarter, the last drives.
And that's what it's coming down on. See what the leagues change. See, this is the good part, and I don't want to. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of college football in there with the NIL deals. Now that kids can stay longer in kind of college, we can find one of those players, maybe that 5th-year senior that's coming out, that's still kind of a little bit older, kind of because basically right now the game is speeding up. So is in agreeing with what you were saying, Anthony, too. You need a linebacker that can cover these tight ends coming out of the backfield. The game has changed. You don't have to have stiff linebackers that can cover their flat, that can get back and can read and be a team leader. With Caleb, Caleb comes from our alumni USC, and I was down. I didn't know if Caleb could pull it off, and I have said on social media many times. I apologize for him. Because he's a hell of he's a football player, and I'm looking at him to lead our franchise into prominence. At least maybe if we can get a couple of playoff runs into the big granddaddy of them all to the Super Bowl. But you only could do that. You only could as your defense. We're good on the offense. We still working, and we're gonna definitely get somebody probably definitely out of free agency. We just got to, when we get this draft, we got the quarterback. This is going to be our franchise quarterback. I thought it was going to be Justin Fields, but it didn't work out. But we have one in Caleb right now. So if we want to keep them upright, let's make sure that we put a great defense around them. Hey, let's keep the O-line healthy. Let's work on this running game too. Because once you be in the league for a few years and stuff, all the running and throwing, it's going to tear down. So we can get that running game going, keep our offensive line healthy, bulk up on the defensive line, like you said, Anthony, and also just having that linebacker core. And we need a leader on the defense. The days are gone of Peanut Tillman. The days are gone of Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs. So we need that. We need that fire back. Bear down forever though.
So as I'm looking at these stats right now,
Mhm.
Like there was some weeks that he struggled. New England,
Yeah,
Arizona, and then obviously with Washington, because
yeah,
their defense was pretty
yeah,
doggone solid. But it come down to those weeks where it's the last drive, and
yeah,
it's just it
yeah.
is heartbreaking that the deep like who how many Hail Marys actually work in NFL
That
football?
and
It,
there's not many. It's like sometimes that ball comes up, and it's like one of my coaches used to say when I played high school ball. He was like, "It's a fluke." So sometimes it's a fluke. Sometimes that ball just hits right into the. You can have defenders hitting the ball, and it just falls right in their hand, and then it's a touchdown, and then you can go right off in the sunset. But with the Redskins game, I saw that happen. When Daniel stepped
Mhm.
back and he threw it, it was up for grabs, but it comes down to that will too. And sometimes it takes, I know people believe in luck. Sometimes it's just luck.
It's
But to
just
put
luck.
Ke- yeah, but
Mhm.
to put Caleb in these predicaments, the good news, like I said, I see him as being with us for a while. So
Mhm.
we get the tools there, and we put that and we bulk that defense up. Like I said, we got so many kids that are coming out. I mean, these are fifth year seniors, so you're not getting that same what would I say? Well, when you get to the league, you might probably about 22.
Experience. It's going to be a different
Yeah,
experience and a different
yeah,
physical. They're
yeah,
developed one year
yeah,
more physically,
yeah,
and at the college level, they're
yeah,
getting the kind of coaching that they're not
yeah,
going to get in the profession. Like a lot of these
yeah,
college, a lot of these colleges design their like the alumni is really smart at where they put the money.
yeah.
And
Oh
whenever you
yeah,
have
I dig it.
stadiums that have 100,000 people, you look at all the money they're making in one game. Like you see 100,000
And
people. It's
yeah,
crazy.
state and they got state of the art weight rooms. So
Yeah.
when people don't realize this, a lot of the players that play college ball and they in the NFL, they come back to work out in these state of the art facilities. I'm talking about you can walk in. I won't name the school, but they have three different locker rooms. They have a locker room for them to lounge. They have a big screen in there like a movie theater, a recording studio, everything. So everything in college is kind of much set for you. But the weight room, if you look at and Anthony, I know you in fitness, so they have a whole bunch of like these new stuff that these kids use to make them bulk up. So you're getting so imagine a guy that's been playing football for 5 years, and then he's like, okay, he wants to go to the league. He's around 24 or whatever. He's going to be seasoned. Now take that guy and put him at a linebacker. He's going to be used to leading. He's been, he been balling. And I would say this for critics out there. Yes, the college game is different from the NFL, but it's the same. Most of these people that are playing against each other are around in that same age group. You might have people maybe 6 or 7 years. I think the oldest person I would have said Keenan Allen. I know he's up there. He got to be about 37. I think Keenan Allen is somewhere around there. So you do have older players, but then you have these younger guys. So that kind of consider a little bit older. They're more mature. They understand the run. They understand these defenses. They understand because most of the quarterbacks that are starting have been young around their age, so they can read that. And I love to see the Bears get a linebacker that can read the quarterback's eyes and that can
I like
trace that down and can stop the run.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And a solid defensive end also.
yeah,
So what I wanted to say too was the last time that we had as a bear. I'm a Bears fan, so the last time we actually had a 300
yeah,
yard passer multiple games in a season, well, I think was probably Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler turn the ball
yeah.
over a tremendous amount. Now, what we see with Williams, he has 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Yes, he's not throwing a lot of
Yeah,
touchdowns,
and
but he's
that's
not
what
turning the
Cutler and
ball
that.
over.
Yep,
Huh?
yep.
He's Yeah, he's not turning the ball over with interceptions. Like to me, that's a tremendous. No, I don't know this far into the season. I don't know how many quarterbacks that we've went through in the past 3 decades where they only had 5 interceptions. Like what was today game number 11? Was today game number 11 or something? I don't remember. I don't Let me count real fast. 3, 6, 9, 10. Today was game number 11, 5 interceptions. That's averaging one interception every other game. That's 0.5 interceptions again. That's pretty good. Yeah, that means we're at least not turning the ball over a tremendous amount with interceptions. And for Williams to be at that point right now is a rookie, and then having 300-yard games, that means a lot. That says a lot about him as of right now. He did struggle against Green Bay or against New England, and he struggled against Arizona and Washington. So there's 3 weeks that he was struggling. He still threw 200 yards against Arizona, but he didn't throw any interceptions. So, excuse me. With that being said, the issue is getting a defense that will be able to help him at least at least not lose on the final drive of the game. So, and I think that that's where we need to focus at totally
Yeah,
would be in that regard. So
yeah,
that's just me.
no,
That's what I see. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
no, definitely.
real quick, gentlemen. For some reason, we're not streaming on the Smoking and Joking page. If you want to watch this on Facebook, then you have to view through the Vet365 page. We're streaming on that page. So trying to fix why we're not streaming on that page, but we are on Instagram and we are on YouTube right now.
Okay.
So
That works.
next bit of conversation, we're gonna move things to. But first, let's look at our chat. Jamie said we were frozen. Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully we're not frozen anymore. Jamie, you still frozen? I don't know if she can hear us. Yeah. Next bit of information, something near and dear to Reed's heart, is the demise of Aubrey Graham. You want to go ahead and tell us what's going on with that, Reed?
Hey, if you got the album, you would know what he did. It was a complete massacre. A few people in there got screens, but I want to say this: Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT of this generation. I've been a fan since Overly Dedicated. My favorite song on that mixtape was Bob Wire. Kendrick Lamar has set the trends for music right now. He exposed somebody who I felt that was this culture vulture. Like he wanted to live this life like he was really like how he was saying these songs, but really wasn't. And I'm not gonna take that from him because it's entertainment. But if you listen to this new album, my first my favorite song so far is "Whacked Out Mural" and "Heart." So "Whacked Out Mural" is a 5-minute song. It opens with the mariachi singer. I can't call her name right now. She's very beautiful though. So she's singing in Spanish when the song opens. So the song is mainly about how people were picking sides against him, and he's saying if you pick a side, you should stay there. Snoop Dogg caught a stray. He kind of low key dissed him. He dissed Lil Wayne. He was just saying like, you pick the side, like, because people are so industry friendly with Drake because they want to be able to be like, oh, I'm cool with Drake because a lot of young kids look up to Drake. But what Kendrick does in this album, he goes through, he even shares his dirt on Heart, where they use a sample from SWV's Use Your Heart, Not Your Eyes song, if you guys are familiar with that, where he talks about his former group. They still his homeboy, Black Hippie, with Ab-Soul, J-Rock, the Schoolboy Q. So he talks about his marriage, how it's difficult right now with them and they having an issue. So this man really pours his heart out through this record that is through this whole album. What's going to solidify him as a great, he destroyed somebody that I believe was an industry plant by just going in on him, but not dissing him with lies, but actually showing stuff you can look up about this gentleman. So I feel like this album right here is going to be the album of the year. Next, I guess it would have to be next year because we head into December. I feel like Kendrick Lamar is the voice of the people. If you are a person that enjoys hip hop, if you like somebody that's actually saying something that's not about no gun bars and ain't about sliding on this person, it ain't about killing every 5 minutes or nothing like that. And I'm not knocking people who make that because I listen to, Six Mafia. I've been a fan, always going to be a fan. But this is I would call this contemporary. I can't even call it contemporary hip hop. This is real life. Like this man is really bearing his soul on this. If you're a Drake fan, it's pretty much over. I mean, you can just go cry about it, pray about it, but it's pretty much done. This man single-handedly, and like I said, Snoop Dogg caught a stray, and Lil Wayne caught a stray because they've been playing politics. I get why Lil Wayne, because Drake is signed to Young Money. I get Snoop Dogg is trying to be diplomatic, like, oh, it shouldn't be like that. Somebody in the comments on this YouTube video pointed out, so whacked out mural. So it's a place in LA. I ain't gonna name the hood because I'm gonna that. But it was a place that they whacked out his mural, like they put stuff all on it, like graffiti and stuff like that. So the song is coming for that, but like I think it was dope. Like I said, I can't find the lady's name, but she's a mariachi singer. She started singing in Spanish when it first opened, and K-Dot takes it from there. So shout out to K-Dot. Shout out to the new album. Great album, by the way, too. And you can find it on YouTube and Tidal and other streaming service. And no one knew about it. So I'm happy that he took down Drake. I'm happy.
Okay. One quick question, or not even question. We promised our fans that we're gonna be more candid in our speech. We're gonna let them see true smoke pit conversation. I know this wasn't even 5% of the conversation we've been having on the phone. So let's go ahead
Do we
and
really
not
want to
try to
go
be
there?
as political because we owe it to our fans to let them see what smoke pit conversations are like. Anthony, let's go ahead and we're gonna let you respond to what Reed said. But Reed, I encourage you to have smoke pit conversations like the ones we have on the phone because we owe it to our fans. They don't call in to hear vagueness or hear us be political. They want to know what it's like in the smoke pit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so all right, I can't really I'm gonna be honest with like I'm gonna be straightforward. I can't really talk too much about Kendrick Lamar's new album and what it goes into because I haven't listen, I've been working like putting a business together, so I haven't paid any attention to what's been going on as far as music. But I can say this: whenever he was talking shit about Drake and you ain't gonna go, you ain't gonna make it in cell block one. You know what I'm saying? And we know what he's talking about whenever that pedophile shit, so it's just
Yeah.
like, whenever I heard that, and I've been to prison, you ain't making it in cell block nothing in any dorm. You're not making it at all. You're gonna be it's called kill on site and crash on site. So you get labeled like that immediately. You ain't First of all, a gang is going to come for you, and I don't know, I'm not going to say which one, but I'm gonna just say that shit is not tolerable. So you're going to PC, you know what I'm saying? You're doing your time in PC completely separate. So like when Kendrick Lamar dropped that right there and he was pointing fingers, that made my eyes open up. I was like, this is something I didn't even know about. So I had to go and reference, like I had to go look and see what he was referencing, and I was like, get out of here. So you know th-
Yeah.
he's coming for throats. And the thing is like there was a who was the other rap? There
Oh
was
yeah.
he's coming for throats, man. And the thing is like I don't think he's wrong for it. And it's not like he's just trying to start beef. He's just saying what the
No.
truth is. So but I can't talk about the album. I don't know what Muro got,
Yeah.
got messed up or who, you know what I'm saying, who did some wrong shit to it. I'm just saying that Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT, right? Like, of course, who else? Like J. Cole. J. Cole. Hell, I love J. Cole. J. Cole is but when we're kind of talking about coming for throats right now, it's Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of Joyner Lucas too. I'm sorry, Lucas Joyner. I
Oh
love his
yeah, I
shit.
think Jordan Lucas is dope.
He's
Yeah,
dope.
I think Jordan
Um,
Lucas is dope.
Um,
Yeah.
but Kendrick
But
Lamar is a different. He's just a different beast, and I think he kind
they,
of keeps it old school too. Like his
yeah,
bars are he's a lyricist. He's a lyricist. So it's
that's it. And that's what people have to realize about it. And if people and those don't listen to hip hop, I'll tell you what really this whole song, the mural song, is about. The song is saying either you with me or you basically either you with me or you not with me. You can't play both sides. And on the song, he said, I don't want to. he was like, I don't want to piece it up or nothing. He's like, I'd rather drag you to hell with me. Because what happened was people were getting paid to kind of, when your money long, you can do certain things. I'm not, and it's all alleged, but this is what I got from the song. Something happened where something could have been happened to him, his wife, and his kids. And he said, I would never piece it up with you. Because when you got long money, and it's not saying Drake alleged, it could have been somebody that he paid to do that to that mural. And he said, what if one of them crash dummies would have did something to my wife and my kids? So, that then you start taking off wax. So why would I want to make peace with you? But I can use this for those who don't listen to hip hop, like I said before. This song is saying either you with me or you against me. And piggyback on what Tua said, I'm gonna be honest. I never liked the Drake because I consider myself a trench baby, even though I'm old as hell now, but I'm a trench baby. So when I find out that somebody come up with a silver spoon and stuff like that, and they really work hard, yeah, it does something to me. So I can admit that. I don't know if that called me makes me a bad person, but when I find out that you had all the intangibles in life, and now you're trying to say that you came up like, rough, because you don't know rough until you eat cereal and water. You don't know rough until you wear votes and everlasting school and shit, and people laughing at
fried
you.
bologna.
Yeah, you eating fried bologna, you eating syrup sandwiches. You know what sugar water is. You eat in that house with that oven. You got to get clowned because your clothes, or you go to school musty and shit, and people clowning. So I feel like Drake represents everything. Maybe it's some eternal things that I look at and be like, that ain't what it is, because now you rapping something that you don't really know about. You ain't never been, you never had to fight for what you had to get to. It was given to you. And it's not knocking people, because some people are good people that come from with super spoons and all, but when you get away from that and you sound like I started from the bottom and I did this and I did that, you're an industry plant, man. They like you because women like you. Dudes like you because they know you were corny, but they know girls like you, so they had to like you. So that's just only in my opinion, but I'm tired of it's kind of like Eazy and Eazy used to have this song called Real Compton City G's, and on the song it said, I'm tired of suburban claiming that they gangsters. And that's what it is. It's like, you from the suburbs, be from there, but don't try to get cool in a genre that's been known to. It's bad stuff. It's not nothing to glorify. Like I'm saying, I'm not doing this to glorify anything, but we go when you really get your stuff out of the mud, you more appreciative. And I'm not trying to say people that born with two parents and was super spoon and was well off that they don't appreciate it. But I feel, this is my opinion, I feel like we appreciate it a little bit more. So that's why I don't like. That's why I never like Arbor, Drake, whatever his name.
We had a conversation earlier today about mixed martial arts, about how the UFC promotes mixed martial artists versus how the NFL promotes NFL players. And I was trying to tell Reed, in my opinion, because mixed martial arts and UFC is worldwide, the whole grew up in a single parent household narrative isn't important to the UFC. What's important to the UFC is, hey, this kid was 7 years old and he won this wrestling competition, or won this judo competition, because it seems that the hardship of growing up with a single mom is unique to the American football or basketball story. It's not important. It's not what the UFC bases their narrative off of. And if you look at more combat sports like boxing or kickboxing, people will come from a tough area of town, but third world countries, people come from two-parent households. When someone makes it from Dagestan, or when someone makes it from India into the UFC in America, if they want to focus on hardships, it will be this person grew up in this bad area of the world, not that this person didn't have their parents. And the argument Reed and I normally have always falls back to this guy named Tut Tarantino, Michael Irvin's son, who decided he wants to be a gangster rapper. And Reed's whole thing is, your dad was one of the greatest NFL players. Why do you want to be a gangster rapper? And I tell Reed, you can't choose what someone wants to be. It's an individual choice. There are people I know somebody from my old family. His dad was a senator in Africa, but this young man chose to go to jail. Chose to go to jail. And everyone's individual. So I do get that you are upset when people have silver spoons and they try to represent the street life. Because I get upset and I don't listen to hip hop no more. Because I'm over the whole thing. I thought these guys was gangster. I thought they was tough. Come to find out, and they ain't nothing against LGBTQ. If you gay and that's how you play, that's on you. My thing is just be honest about who you are. Don't be pretending like you're getting all these females and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're getting your back cracked just because you want to sell more records. No, live your truth, King. Live your truth. So Reed and I kind of agree on the same thing, but I just don't listen to hip hop no more. Reed, he told me, he said Kendrick Lamar came out with a hard album. I said, bro, I don't listen to hip hop no more. I listen to Brazilian jazz now, bossa nova and neo soul, because I'm done thinking these dudes is tough. Most of them got ghostwriters. Most of them don't live the life that they saying that they live, and we find out years after. The Big Papa thing, it broke my heart for hip hop. So that's me being as candid as I can. Anthony, we would like to hear your thoughts.
So, what is it about the Big Papa thing? What was it?
No,
Big Papa, no, hey, we love all people on Smoking and Joking Show. Big Papa was into transgender
yeah,
females. He had a famous transgender female in a lot of his videos.
Yeah. I do. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. So I see what you're saying now. Because I was like, hold on. He really did live that life. He did live a fucking crazy life.
yeah.
Now, as
Now,
far as the transgender thing, yeah, like
but the thing
whatever.
about him,
Um,
the thing about him, people knew his story, Biggie's story in the beginning anyway. They knew he didn't really. That's why the whole Pac thing, this going off the subject a little bit, but that's how the whole Pac thing happened because he thought Biggie was really the king of New York, like he said he was, but he wasn't. He was just a regular dude that knew how to rap good. Yeah, him and his mom, he had a single mom, but he really wasn't the guy. Never was the guy. But society looked at, well, Pac, they said Pac looked at him like, if you the king of New York, tell me who did this to me. So that was
yeah.
the biggest thing with Biggie, though.
So my thing with, as far as keeping it real and
Yeah,
these
when keeping it
individuals,
real goes wrong.
yeah, like keeping it real, like exactly. David Chappelle goes over
Yeah.
that whole skit. So, in my opinion, and the individuals that I've really witnessed and watched that are really really talented. There's this one guy named, I think his name is Locksmith. Locksmith, he's really good. If you never heard of him, he's on Shade 45, and his bar, he goes 10 minutes hard without stopping, and there's nothing repeated. There's nothing repeated. This guy he's amazing. And then you got, well, obviously Kendrick Lamar, and the individuals that have lived that kind of lifestyle, you know, but don't necessarily perpetuate that's the way to live. You know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
does call out, they call out individuals for for being born with a silver spoon and then pretending that they live that lifestyle. Now we know it's for showcase and entertainment because we, the most population in the United States is white people. So you need a certain amount of white people to sell those albums, especially if they're going to be with X label and Y label, right? This is the way it is, right?
Exactly.
It like, let's just be honest, who proved that? Eminem did, right? Because look at how many albums he sold and how many white people were listening to him. And yes, and he's a great art. He's an amazing artist. He's
But as
top
a
10.
black man, I sorry to cut you off, Anthony, but I listen to him too because I identify with him more than I probably identify with any other rapper. And I'll say that. Sorry to cut
Yeah.
you off. I
No,
was definitely.
because he came from straight poverty and his mother had psychological issues, and he went through
Mhm.
perpetual poverty from moving from place to place, not having anything, trash bag to trash bag.
Mhm.
And you like, a lot of people
Mhm.
could relate to that, but whenever it comes to sales and everything like that, that's whenever it comes down to literally the
Mhm.
marketing aspect, who they can push, what they can push, and if they want to sell the gangster lifestyle or the poverty lifestyle of growing up from nothing, but they have you know, just like the 8 Mile, like at the very end, whenever he's like, and yeah, my like Cheddar Bob almost did shoot his dick off, and yeah, like you did fuck my chick. You know what I'm saying? Like all
Yeah,
that, like, and
yeah.
he's calling it out,
Mhm,
and it's the reality of it,
mhm.
because it all comes down to sales. It comes down to money,
Yep,
and it's
yep,
unfortunate, but there are, because there are some guys that really came from absolutely nothing. Look at the Wu-Tang Clan. All of them, every
exactly.
one of them came from the
Yep,
projects of Staten Island. If you ever
yep.
watch any
Staten
documentary
Island.
of
Yep,
Wu-Tang, they came from Staten Island,
yep,
and they came from the project. There was like
yep.
there was like one or two that did. Capadonna got locked the fuck up while they were
Yep,
premiering in Wu-Tang Clan.
yep,
Capadonna,
yep, yep,
you got or go no you got Capadonna,
yep,
like, and there was another one. I was like, they were getting
yep,
locked up in and out, in and out. Inspector Deck.
yep,
The greatest bars I ever
yep.
heard from a rapper was from a guy by the name of Inspector Deck, and he literally was locked up whenever he wrote his best bars. And so that those
Mhm.
days of that are kind of, are gone. But those were the pioneers of real,
Yep,
like, group hip
real
hop,
rap.
and like the
Yep,
core. I mean, and then you
yep,
got, the Sugar Hill Gang going all the way back, and
yeah.
there's a whole bunch of others too. But I personally say, okay, individuals that come from really hardship,
Mm-hmm,
it's really the
mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang Clan, because they came from
Yeah,
hardship. Fucking, who was it?
great.
It was two Ghostface and what's his
And
name? They were shooting at
Raekwon.
each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Raekwon the Chef. They were shooting
Yep,
at each other.
yep.
Like, and then months
They
later they were
touched on
rapping
that.
together. Yeah.
Yep,
So-
yep,
and then
yep,
they made an album together. You know what I'm saying? So,
yep, yep.
but that's what
Yeah,
music can
that's
do
it.
also.
But yeah, yeah, and it's the time too. You thinking of the early
Yeah.
'90s? It was more gritty. You couldn't go send out. There wasn't no SoundCloud. You couldn't do things on computers and stuff. You had to actually rap for people or knew somebody with the equipment to rap. Then you had to figure out how you was gonna get a deal. So with these brothers banding together to form something with that is just still they still can tour. They can go. They can kick off a tour and they have a sold out concert because they transcended everything. And like you said, Anthony, they came from that type of environment where they were able to kind of achieve a lot out of that, like at solo projects, group projects, offsprings of the whole Wu Tang. You got Killer Army.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah, that's
few
right.
others that
The
came.
Killer Bees, Killer Army, and then, well,
Yeah,
even if we even take it another place, like Tribe Called Quest. You know what I mean? Look
yep,
at who they
yep,
had: Buster Rhymes,
yep,
Q-Tip. Like,
yep.
I mean, there's just so the names keep going. Mob Deep.
Constant. Yep,
Like,
yep. And you
and
look
it's
at and you said Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest really birthed a more conscious backpack rap. Because if you look at Kanye West had Consequence, who's Q-Tip's cousin. So they have a whole
mhm.
tree of rappers they influence laid on, like rhymes, like everybody that comes from that type of tree. Because back then you had to be authentic to yourself. You know, music started getting watered down and became gangster when you, like a little bit before then, when you introduced groups like NWA, who's definitely was the pioneer of gangster rap. But then the problem was gangster rap became this. Now gangster rap ain't even that no more. Rap. So what they were just talking about in the 90s, they were talking about trying to get out of the ghetto. The dudes now that are rapping, that the dudes that from the, they call it the trenches, and they slide on people, but these rappers are actually going out killing people or hiring people to kill people. So
Yeah,
it's been crazy. It's like they're looking at the old school like they were really living like that, but now they actually doing it, and then they talking about songs so much so I seen a rapper go to one of these new rappers went to somebody's grave and try to dig them up out of the grave. Like this is what they're doing. Like they slapping each other moms. Like it's like the most disrespectful thing you could do is doing it now. You know, it used to
yeah.
be a code. People would battle rap that would be at rap. It wouldn't be like that. Now it's like that
I,
24/7.
I can appreciate somebody that says I'm a psycho and then they end up in jail for being a psycho. What I
Yeah,
can't appreciate,
yeah.
what I cannot, what I cannot appreciate is I get all these females every day, every night. Come to find out, you're not getting no females, you're getting males. If you're getting males every day, every night, come out and say it. If you're afraid your records won't sell, Puff Daddy, I feel he got in trouble because he wasn't projecting and giving people who he really was. Any person that hides who they are and promotes a false image is going to come to their downfall. The reason I don't listen to rap no more isn't because rappers today don't have skill. I think a lot of rappers today have more talent and more skill to be putting out all these records, or it could just be a more connected world. But what I'm upset with is finding out my heroes of yesteryear were not living what they were rapping. No matter how hard their rhyme was, they weren't living what they were rapping. That's what got me disillusioned with rap. That's why I listen to Elton John. I listen to artists that are real about who they are. But I'm not gonna listen to rap no more because it just seems a lot of rap. They tell us what we want to hear instead of who they really are. Okay, we got Reed. Reed came back. Let's move it along a little
Yeah.
bit. Guys, next topic.
Uh,
This is why we need a female host on the show so we won't run the risk of being called the Red Pill Show. I was on one of my favorite pages called Thick Like Cornbread, and all they do is post the thickest bowl of oatmeal women you ever seen in your life, all up and down the page. And so this lady went to the page and she said, when she calls a man and says, let's go out, and the man asks her, are you paying or are we going halvesies? She blocks him right away. So I want to know what's your take on that? If a woman calls you and asks to go out and you want to know who's paying and you get blocked, what's your take on that?
the oldest profession, prostitution. That's what
I don't
it
know, man. Me
is.
personally, like, listen, this is one of those.
Oh,
It's a very subjective thing today, and the reason why is because of the heightened time of inflation. And whenever we're talking about
Mhm.
when we're talking about literally the federal minimum wage has stayed the same for so long, but yet the rate of inflation has climbed 2.4% for how many years in a row, but we're still having this low, this low cost of whatever the fuck is going on economically. It's That's going to be a conversation that will be coming up more frequent because of the fact of what a person makes, what a person also is willing to spend on a first date, and what the ideology of a first date really entails. Okay, so me personally, I don't, now that I'm older and my dating is completely different than what it used to look like. A date now can literally be at a coffee shop. It can literally be at a park walking around on the track. You know what I'm saying? Like, a
Yeah.
date does not mean that I have to take you to a five-star restaurant and spend $150 or $250. If we have people like that who are wanting it, and I'm not talking about just women, including men, and they're wanting that for a first date, then we got to look at the realism of what your dating class is. Now that goes into a different demographic. Okay. I was taught also try to date within your intellectual capacity. What does that mean? What does that look like? Okay. Yeah, God, this is gonna sound fucked up. But if you not really a smart person, you finished in the bottom 10% of your high school and you tried, then that means that your dating pool is in the bottom 30% of the people that you come across. You know what I'm saying? If And the thing is too, is like, you're not
Mm.
gonna have
Yeah.
and I I might be eating my words on this. You're not gonna have multimillionaires that are just gonna pick a chick up from fucking Waffle House and just bling her out. That's not that's some pretty woman shit, and that's not reality. You might have that happen 1 in 100,000, but you're not gonna have that happen 1 in 1,000. So you're going to usually date within your intellectual capacity, and you're going to usually date within your financial capacity. And what that looks like in America today is, for men, it's like, I think $65,000 and below is going to be the average man's capacity. And that is what, what I think you would probably want to stay in, so that she can match you at 65 is like, what, that's 130 bands a year. Like, you can live a good middle class life at 130 bands a year, right? And even if she's making 45 or even 35 starting out, and then she's building up to 45, 55, right? So that's what I've looked at. As far as like this going Dutch and all this other stuff, I'm kind of old school. Plus, I'm in a higher income bracket. So I can take a woman out, but it ain't got to be like that. If you're just getting to know a person, literally go to fucking Starbucks and have a muffin and a coffee and talk for 3 hours, 4 hours, and get to know each other before you want to spend that $150, $200 on a steak dinner. That's my take on it. You can do what you want. That's just, it is what it is, right? I'm gonna leave that one alone now, because I'm gonna get some blowback on that shit. So,
Well, I'll let you know. This is why people say I'm the dog. When she posted when she posted that, my question to her was, how much? That was my question, because if it's transactional, if it's transactional at this point, if I'm gonna give you money, if I'm gonna feed you without knowing you, what's the return on my investment? You know what I'm saying? If it's just about money, I got no problem paying for dates. But like you saying, this economy, I know that if I spend 250 on a chick, 250 is gonna get me a different return on my investment depending on what part of the world I'm in. So my question to her was, how much? She laughed at it and stuff because she understood what I was saying. I got 7 daughters, so it's tough being a dog when you got 7 daughters, but I'm still committed to my dogism. And I told my daughters, whenever I take my daughters out and we hang out, I'll pay for everything, but they're gonna be cleaning the table. They're gonna be throwing away the food, because I want them to know that no relationship is no relationship should be someone does zero and the other person does everything, because at that point you shouldn't be in that relationship. And if you're in a relationship where you just want a man's money, 9 times out of 10, if that man's a real man, he's gonna want something else. So you gotta understand, approaching men with, I don't go to cheesecake on the first date. Okay, no problem. I can take you to whatever fancy restaurant you want. But in the words of one of my favorite comedians, 11.99, that ass is mine. So I just had to ask her how much, because she looked good. I'm not gonna lie, she looked good, but there's a lot of women all over this world that look 10 times better than her that won't cost as much as her. If y'all know what I'm talking about, so that's what I think about when women approach a man only for money, right? Because if you
Nah, I
approach me
mean,
only
it's
for
true.
money,
It's true.
I'm not dumb with my money. I'm smart with my money. So if you're approaching me only for money, I'm gonna look at this. How old are you? How many kids you got? What income bracket? How smart are you? And then I'm gonna start figuring, do I spend my dollar on you or do I spend my dollar on somebody else? And I don't think they think about that when they say, I'm never going 50-50 with a man, because you are gonna be giving something to that man. Whether it's not paying for food, you're gonna be paying with nudes or something. So I'll shut up because I know some women gonna have a problem with that. But
Yeah,
Reed, what's your take? Reed, you
I
frozen.
kind of, I kind of agree with both of you guys, but I look at it like this. Me personally, I'm a simple man. Like, I rather a simple date. It's kind of like when Anthony brought up the coffee shop. Like, I rather like, hey, let's go to a museum or something. Maybe we can get coffee afterwards and stuff like that. Because I would say I was so young, but after my divorce, I went on a lot of dates, and I probably spent more money than I was supposed to on dates due to drinking a lot, just being like, oh, I'm just looking for good company, or expecting it, looking at it like, oh, that's what she wants. Like, she wants to see that, okay, I have a job, I'm doing this, I'm working, I'm doing, that's what I thought. But then I realized a simple date is sometimes the best thing. But if a woman just blocks me and says, oh, I don't want to talk to you. I have had women that said, I've been on dating sites. I don't want to give, I guess this is not promotion for them, but I used to be on BLK, And I once had a woman tell me, like, if you don't have a passport, you don't need to be and I got to talking to this woman. I'm thinking like she got her stuff together because she's saying, she's like, yeah, I had a boyfriend. He was from I won't say what African country, but we dated, and he used to send me to do. We used to go to Dubai. We used to do all this other stuff. And then I hear somebody crying in the background. It's a baby. I'm like, oh, you got.
Oh shit! I want to hear about the little fuck trophy. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I think we got him back.
There we go.
He's experiencing some technical difficulties. He was telling me about this earlier. That he said, "You got a baby. Ain't nothing wrong with having a kid and wanting
No.
to date, but again, man, like I think people are disillusioned nowadays. If you leading with pay for me, okay, I could use my dollar to pay for something better. That's how I look at it. Read you back. We lost him again.
Mm.
Okay. We're about to wrap up the show. No, he's back. He's back.
I'm
Read.
back.
You
I
hear us?
apologize.
It's all right.
Yeah, I can hear
You
you guys.
need to
Yeah, tell
low
us about
down.
the kid in the background.
Oh yeah, so the kid was crying in the background. So when the kid was crying in the background, I'm like, "Oh, you got a kid?" She was like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Oh, so we got on the conversation. Come to find out, she lived with her parents and all this other shit that she wasn't." But she was saying that she was accustomed to this type of lifestyle. No different if a woman says, "You want me to take you out on a fancy date?" I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be some minuses that comes with it. That comes with that. First, I'm gonna look at, okay, are you stable in your life? It's kind of like what Anthony said. I feel like you, and just to piggyback on that, I feel like you should date your bank account, what you can afford. You know, one of my favorite comedians said he like to date women that are like struggling and stuff like that because it makes him feel good. So, but I would definitely agree with dating a woman that has the same bank account or something like that, or just a woman that's a simple woman. Date what you like. Like if you like a woman like me, I like a woman that can dress extravagant, but she likes to save money. That's what type I like. Like, hey, she look like she got it, but she's still saving her money, and she's okay with going to the planetarium or something like that, or something like educational or some shit. I don't want to be like, I can't afford I could afford it, but I don't want to go to no what is that, Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I don't want to go to no damn none of that shit. That's just it is a waste of money.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
liked how
you
you
can go.
yeah, I like how you mentioned that the education aspect of it too, because
Mhm.
I'll be honest with
Mhm.
you. There is really nothing wrong with going to a museum, paying the little $5 or $10, whatever it is,
Mhm.
and then grabbing a coffee at their little food court or whatever, and then
Mhm.
walking around. There is absolutely, to me, that those are always things that you can that should be utilized for first dates, because you're
Mhm.
literally just getting to know the person, you're literally just
Yeah.
asking them out, you're literally wanting to see if you want to be in their energy, because we all have
Mhm.
different energy, we all are different, we're all just different people, and that's just the way it
Yeah.
is. We're in different parts of our lives. Does our
Mhm.
energy work well together? Do we over talk each other? Do we talk at each other or with each other? There's a lot of different, whenever talking the whole dating thing, but I like the fact that you brought that up to, you go right to a museum and see something, and talk intellectually and learn from each other. To me, that seems pretty tangible, pretty amazing actually.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
A great
Yeah. And
man.
you ain't breaking the bank. You're not
A
breaking.
great
Nobody's not breaking no bank.
a great man named Baltazar Ebang the Bank. Man's crushed 400 women in West Africa, politicians' wives, bodyguards' wives, people that had way more money than him. 400 and
Mhm.
counting. He served more
Yep.
people than Mickey D's. And he just makes me feel like if a woman's after a man's money, that's all she's after. If she's leading with take me somewhere expensive when she doesn't know you, she doesn't even know you might be someone that would bury her and put her under your porch and cry while you're talking
Hey.
about the news should help you find her. If all she wants is
Yeah.
money, then what's going to happen? There's always going to be somebody richer than you in this world.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I've been all over the world. I've been all over the world. I consider myself a really handsome guy, you know, but I've seen men that are incredibly ugly with beautiful women because of the money that they have. So it's gonna be a blow to your ego if you spend $300-400 on a dinner date with this chick, and then you see this chick next week with somebody that when it spends $600 on it. That's a waste of $400. That's how I look at that.
And it happens though. That's
Mm-hmm. You
We
lock
we
up again?
lost yeah, we lost him again. And men, our egos are so fragile, man. Like most going back to Baltazar Ibanga, these men is crying, bro. Like the men that whose wives that he crushed, they're crying. One man was on talk about, I spent so much money on the wedding, I took care of her mother, her sons, everything. And then I saw her getting crushed in the bushes. In the bushes. he he was mad because he felt like a lesser man crushed his woman. He wasn't. You get what I'm saying? Like that's why he was mad. So it's gonna be a blow to your ego chasing women that just want money and want you to spend money on them. Because there's always gonna be someone that's gonna be able to give them more money or give them this little trinket of a dollar bill or something. I like how you guys are talking about get to know the person first, because that's important. You say if you're gonna talk at somebody or talk with somebody. I used to be married, bro. I used to hate. I need to talk to you. Hell no, I don't want it. I don't want you to talk to me. Do you want to talk with me? Because talking
Yeah.
to me means you're just gonna tell me where I'm fucking up. Talking with me means we gonna figure some shit out. So I like how you say that. We got
Yeah.
Reed coming back on.
It's that whole
yeah. Sorry, y'all. It's the internet connection sometimes. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's that whole communication aspect, that communication piece that's really really critical whenever we're talking at someone or talking with them. Because if you're talking with them, you're taking what they say in, and listening and observing everything. If you're talking at them, you're just trying to force your point of view on them, and it's you're going to catch friction like that. And I've
Mhm.
had plenty of women that I've dated and had those friction points because it's just it would be either because I've caught myself doing that too, talking at somebody, but now I talk with them, and then I will listen and see where it's getting like any type of word is getting misconstrued. And then I have to analyze and be like, okay, do I want to be in this? All right, no, I don't want to. All right, cool. Take care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so that's whenever it is what it is, right? So, and we're all of us are growing at different rates. Also, all of us are growing at different speeds, and you can't expect somebody to grow at the same speed as you are, especially whenever you're talking dialogue and communication, emotional intelligence, all these other things that we're learning about. And I'm in my 40s, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. So being born in the 70s, growing up in the 80s, and not getting those types of tools to work with, like, yeah, go outside. That's your. Hey, I want to talk about. I feel like, oh, nobody cares how you feel. Go outside. You know. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, but today is
Probably
different.
don't.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna do our final wrap up. For our wrap up, we normally do commercials, but we're just each going to take time. We're each going to take time to share something good that happened in our week, either with our doctoral program or with our company. And then I seen you've been getting some nice toys, bro. Like I've been cheering from the sidelines, man. Reed, I know. Reed, I know you got good news with the grades that you received during the last semester. Then I got good news to share too. So let's go ahead and Anthony, let's take what you will go read and then we'll go with me and then we'll close out.
Yeah, so with my supplement company that I've kicked off and really putting a lot of my effort. There's a reason why I'm only doing kind of like one a week right now with the podcast. I've been putting a lot of effort into that. as far as my clientele and building more clients up for my personal training business as well. And what he's talking about toys, like I just bought a brand new Jaguar XF. Um, yeah, so
Bang,
it's
bang,
pretty.
bang.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, fellas. And I got my other Jaguar too. So, and then I got great news this week where my landlord, he's like, yeah, I tell you what, because I've been bothering him for over a year now to purchase this condo. I was like, I don't want to be renting forever. He's like, okay, next year we're gonna sit down and talk about selling you the condo. So now I'm getting my condo. You know what I'm saying? Like
Let's
bought a new
go.
toy.
Hell yeah.
Business has been really outstanding. And then just overall, like health and wellness and people in my life are exactly where they're supposed to be. So that takes, yeah, bro, like for real, like, yeah,
Hell
having
yeah.
those people, it, having your tribe of people, and I have a really small circle to start with, like it's a really small circle. Um, I think that the growth potential and everything that goes into it, mentors, mentees, individuals that'll listen to you, counsel you, and point you in the right direction. To me, this is all incumbent to be a better person overall. And then, of course, mental health. I have my mental health appointment on Wednesday, and I'm always an advocate of worrying about your mental health and taking care of yourself first. And I mean first is even if you're a family man, in order to be a healthy, productive family man, you have to take care of your mental health. And it's been too many times where I've seen, Marines and individuals, they suffer from their mental health, and they don't stay proactive on it. You got to be proactive. There are programs out there. If you're a veteran, you got the vet center. You ain't necessarily just got to use the VA. You can go to the vet center and they're going to help you. And then there's other avenues as well. So take care of your mental health. I take care of my mental health, and it's made me a better man. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better friend, a better just overall person. And I'm happy that I'm on my path and doing what I got to do for my mental health, because that way I can help other people reach their physical fitness goals, and that's what my job is. So
Hell yeah.
that's it for me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, brother.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
AMCJ Fitness, right? AMCJ?
Yeah, AMCJ Fitness. Um,
AMCJ at gmail.com, everybody.
yeah. So
Well,
Reed,
yeah, Reed.
Oh, hey man, that was good news, Anthony. Definitely great news.
thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of
I
good
just
things.
want
A lot
to
of good things.
yep, yep. I just want to give a shout out to my homie, my little brother Woodall. Happy birthday. My other
Happy
homie,
birthday,
Black
Woodall.
Happy
Jenkins, my
birthday,
other
brother.
brother. Having a good birthday today. I see you, Jenkins. You doing your thing, Woodall. Do it big, brother. Some good news. Hey, I got a 4.0. I'm going into the winter part of my program. It's almost a year down. Waiting to do another maybe a year and a half. February, I have my residency in Atlanta, Georgia. Looking forward to that. I also kind of got my dissertation. Not because I'm not working on my dissertation yet, but I kind of mixed it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go with a qualitative study, mixed method approach with this gender specific unhoused veterans in California. That's not how it is together, but it's going to kind of working out the kinks with that. I'm just happy, as everybody know, I'm living in Mexico now, and I'm enjoying my time here, and I love it. Love the weather. Everything is good. I got my health. Just waiting. Just applying for vote rehab. I have an appointment on Tuesday. And just to piggyback on what Anthony said, everybody make sure you definitely take care of your mental health. Although I'm going to school to get my doctoral in human service, my PhD in human services, I'm definitely an advocate for helping unhoused veterans, but veterans also in general. So making sure you take it, like Anthony said, you have a lot of tools out here to get help. Just definitely reach out to your brother or your sister. So that's pretty much it for me.
Hell yeah, Reed. And Reed and I, we talk a lot every day. Reed is my first layer of support system. So Artius, Artius, we signed 2 clients last month, and the
Good
first
job.
proposal, thank you. First
Good
first
job.
proposal that we won was over $500,000. I think
Damn.
$575,000. We were able we have this new sales associate named Sheila. She's also the co-founder of Vet365.
Right
She
on
called
the
me back. She
season.
said, I'm bored. I want to come back in and work with Artias. So she brought us a client that makes this special water reclamation system called Shower Miser and Sink Miser. It allows you to keep 40% more fresh water in your system. And we use Shower Miser to find a prime contractor that builds prefabricated metal structures in America. And we approached them, said, we got the subcontractor. We'll write the proposal for you if you agree to use the subcontractor. We wrote the proposal for them. And then we won the proposal over $1 million, over $500,000. And we were able to sign 4 more agreements with this prime contractor where they want to use us to be the proposal writing company. So that's big news because normally we're at a 1 in 3. We win 1 out of every 3, and I don't normally count on winning the first one, but we won the first one, and now we're going after other opportunities in Georgia, opportunity in Bahrain, and opportunity in Alabama. And wouldn't have got there if it wasn't for Sheila bringing the subcontractor Aquaview that makes shower and sink miser. And it's just a big win because Artias, we don't want to manage contracts no more. We want to help people win. Managing is tough. Managing, we had over 800 cylinders all over America we had to manage. And it was good the first 3 years, but then we had to track 89 cylinders at 4 different hospitals, and we basically turned into a one-man show. That was getting a little bit too tough. So this new pivot is good because we like doing business development, and we're happy that the first one we went after with a new client, they won, and that they love our services. So just want to share that with y'all. And yeah, we've come to the end of our show. It was a good show. We didn't stream on the page. The connection was broken, but we did stream on Vet365. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Smoking and joking out, y'all.
Hey, bye, guys.
Bye,
See
bye.
you.